So, welcome back to another update. It's only been a week, but there's a lot that has happened in the past week. Yeah. We have hosted the digital unveiling for the season.
Yes.
Robert, how do you think it went?
I think it went very well. We were up in the architect's house with their very nice exhibition hall. We not drove but pushed up our older cars, and then we had some food and some mingle and some sponsors there. We got up on the stage and talked about all the new things going on with the car, and then showed a really nice rendering video to top the night off.
Yeah. I think it went really well. I think overall what we've seen from the past year is that there's more and more people attending the unveilings, which is really nice to see. Personally, I felt that it was so much fun. Just talking about what we've done during the fall. So proud of the progress that we've made. So just being able to show it off, and especially with the unveiling video that we had, was the perfect finish to a perfect night. So yeah, and
it's also, I think it's very fun to see, since we went over from electric, we've now accumulated a couple of cars, so you can see the evolution of the cars sitting there, and so that's also a nice talking point with friends and family that's there, or sponsors as well. But a lot of the sponsors have seen all the progress, so they're up to speed.
Yeah, it was really nice. Yeah. So if you want to watch the video, where would you find it?
Yeah, you can find it pretty much anywhere.
Yeah.
But I would say go over to YouTube, like and subscribe. As always, follow us on Instagram and LinkedIn and Facebook, so you'll not miss out on all the stuff. Shameless plug.
And I recommend watching it. It was really, really cool. Yeah. You talked about things that are new with the car. So I thought we could maybe talk a bit about that.
Segue into some technical stuff.
Some technical stuff that people like. No, but we have, I think this is the biggest change for this year, that we have new cells. Yeah. So we actually got a Tesla sponsorship this year, which is really cool. So we are increasing the power of the battery with 12 kilowatts. So hopefully we'll be able to both drive faster and at longer times. We're gonna be able to introduce more regen to the car as well. So a lot of exciting stuff going on in that area. So
more power.
More power. Yeah. So having to look at all the changes that comes with that, the gear ratio and such. Yeah. So that's been very interesting actually.
Big step up from our previous 450 volts to 600, as you mentioned, with 12 kilowatts added. But with more power comes more heat as well.
Yes. Yeah.
So
good one, Robert. Yes, we are introducing more cooling in the car, as you mentioned. So not only the water cooling system that we had before, but we are now gonna air cool the accumulator, which has been a bit of a challenge since we haven't done it before. But I think so far so good. Yeah. So we're hoping that we will be able to achieve some more performance with that in mind as well. There's a lot of changes coming with the new cells, but I think overall they aren't all that big. But just with the cooling, that's a big step for us.
Yeah.
So
I've really liked seeing with the aerodynamics team, they have been a bit spoiled over the past years with not having to have cooling inlets and such going into the car. But the cooling and the aerodynamics team and monocoques, of course, collaborating and finding the solution that there was not even a proper concept for in the beginning of the design phase. That was says a lot about how well the team is cooperating and speaking to each other and such.
Yeah. Yeah, and the aero allowed us to put the radiator on the diffuser. So
that's very nice.
That was very nice. And they also helped out with the simulations and everything. So we're adding a few fans as well to the rear. Yeah, that's as you said, it's a really good collaboration between the teams, which is nice to see because that's something that we have worked quite a lot with, making sure that everyone talks to each other, which might like sound easy, but it's a bit trickier than you
Sounds
might
very
think.
easy, and then you have to read the rules, and then you have to
Yeah.
do schoolwork, and then you have to
Yeah.
do the dishes and
Yeah.
cook and clean, and then things fall in the cracks. But we kept the communication on top.
Yeah, it's very nice to see. You've also done some steering changes, or rather maybe upgrades, hopefully. Because we had some issues with the steering torque last year, so it's way too heavy to drive the car. Like our drivers, they got out the car and like, can someone take my helmet? I can't even hold it anymore. So it's
the VD guys, Vehicle Dynamics, did some calculations of what would be the equivalent of doing an endurance, and I think they were up at was it 50 pull-ups or something?
Yeah, I think so.
It was a workout for sure.
Yeah.
Luckily, we had very fit drivers.
Yeah.
Big shoulder strength,
Yeah.
but so they managed. But we didn't want to put our drivers through this year as well.
Yeah. Like one of the things that we had an issue with last year was the joints that we had. We were bending them a bit too much. So this year we have exchanged it for a 90-degree bevel gear instead. So hopefully that will both decrease the compliance in the system, but also make sure that the steering is a bit less heavy. So we are really hoping for that one. We've also done a few upgrades in the suspension in order to decrease the steering heaviness as well. So we will see. Hopefully that will all come together and make it a bit easier to drive the car, so that we can drive at a high pace for a longer time. Because that's not
matching it with the accumulator.
Yeah, exactly. Trying to get all of the car up to the same standard. Is there anything else that you want to mention? Like, we have a lot.
Not off the top of my head.
Yeah, I could talk for hours about this, but we there's a lot of things that are new for this year. A lot of them are maybe a bit smaller than the ones that we have discussed now.
You should watch the presentation.
Yes.
On our socials.
Yes. Yeah. So after Christmas, we're going into manufacturing.
The easy part.
Oh.
This is where the fun begins. Integration, and production. That's
yeah. But I think it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's tough because things usually, in theory, is a very common. In theory, this should work. And then during manufacturing, you always learn that in practice. Not so much. Or sometimes not, and sometimes things that should not work in theory works in practice.
Yeah. Which is cool.
Fingertoppskänsla. Fingertippfil in Swedish.
So just looking at the project planning, it's all looking very good at this point, and we're just hoping that we can receive all of the material and everything in time, because that's not a given either. So
everything has to come together really. And then following that, we have the testing season. That's going to be a blast.
Yeah, and before then we have the quizzes.
Oh yeah. Definitely the quizzes.
Yeah.
That comes almost first. That's late in January.
Yeah.
We're having the qualification quizzes for the competitions. So we started looking into how to divide up all the stuff that has to be done. And it's a long day. We do a bunch of quizzes for about 10 to 11 hours the entire day. And then we'll see where we're going this summer.
Yeah. And we have a few competitions that we're hoping for. So that we're kind of aiming for. Yeah. So hopefully we'll manage to get in there. But we'll see. It's a team effort.
Yeah.
So
and we're not gonna jinx it.
No. No. Yeah.
Yeah. So what are we doing to wrap up this design phase and before Christmas?
Merry Christmas party! Yeah. So that's actually tonight.
Yeah.
I kind of need to go home and I don't even have a watch on, but
in just a couple of hours we're having a sitting with the entire team at a really nice venue up at the Nation here in Lund. Eating some good food, talking about good memories, and a good night.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
That's about it for us.
Yeah.
For this time. Okay, nice.
Thank you for listening.
High five.